The UC budget is a absolutely morally irresponsible budget. Given the fact that that budget is going to enrich the top administrators and make the service worker even more devastated, it's just absolutely unacceptable to me. I think that we all need to look at the proposed budget of ASME 3299 because it's a more responsible budget. It's a fairer budget. It does not, in fact, put the budget on the lowest paying workers, and it spreads that paying out to everyone within the UC system. I think that the notion that we continually, right now in these difficult financial times, continually reward the top administrators with benefits package and high salary is just morally irresponsible. And I think we've got to look at a better budget, a more balanced budget, a fair budget, and that's what ASME 3299 is offering right now.
I'm here today, mainly as someone who deeply cares about the institution of higher education in our great state. And, that means all of the components of that institution, from the lowest paid worker, essential services, right up to the academic professors and the administrators. It's a family, it's an important institution, and we have to make sure that we take care of all aspects of the University of California. That includes the lowest paid workers, and to see repeatedly executive compensation issues take the forefront while at the same time squeezing and cutting essential services for the lowest paid workers who help make these institutions something we're all proud of is just not right. As the father of a freshman at UC Santa Barbara, I want to know that her campus runs well, that there's services for her, that the workers on that campus are well compensated, and that everyone make sure that that institution continues to function well. And so here we are at a time when the executive compensation side of the ledger is not getting the same scrutiny as the lowest paid workers. And I think what ASME is proposing today is an alternative way of budgeting and alternative priorities for those institutions. And I support looking at alternatives to hurting those who make the least, because we are only as good as we take care of the folks who make the least at our institutions, and I think we'll all be better off if the institutions function more efficiently and we look at all places to save money, not just one aspect. So I think there's a lot of merit in the proposal today, looking at the executive compensation, looking at reserves, looking at the profits from other parts of the university to help fund and better fund and make the university more efficient. And so that's why I'm here today, to support the ASME workers who are an essential part of the university.
ASME here in the Capitol to announce our alternative to UDOF's furloughs. We have an emergency budget alternative measures that do not include cutting our workers and furloughing people.
And what do those include?
So there are 6 proposals. I'm glad you asked. So number 1 is to reduce the top 2% of earners. This top 2%, if we reduce a reasonably reduce the top 2% of earners, that will save the university $220 million. Number 2, do some short-term borrowing as a stopgap. If UC can borrow $200 million for construction, they have A1 credit. We think that they can borrow $200 million to help maintain essential services at the University of California. Number 3, we think they can utilize medical center profits. The medical centers have a profit margin of 5%. Most California hospitals have a profit margin of 1%. So if UC just use kind of what's over 3%, that will save the university. The university can use over $100 million, and still the hospitals will be profitable. Number 4, restructuring debt. The university has already put out a measure that they wanted to restructure a portion of its bond service, and we believe UC should continue with this plan. That'll save them $75 million. Utilize unrestricted investments. The university holds $8.5 billion investment portfolio. It's highly liquid. In the past, they have used funds from, UC has borrowed from the investment to help meet a state budget shortfall, and borrowing less than 1% of UC's unrestricted investments will save the university $50 million. And number 6, Cut wasteful spending. UC must continue to cut non-essential spending. And what we know from the limited information that we have a lawsuit with the university trying to get access to the budget information that they're not giving us. But with the limited information that we have, we know that they can cut not essential travel, executive property rentals, build renovations of management, of mansions. But with this limited information, we know that they can save at least $40 million on that piece. We're asking the university and we're asking UDOF to look at these measures first, and that we know that he can solve the budget crisis by using those things. He has these emergency powers now, and he's using them to cut the lowest and the most vulnerable workers at the University of California. And if he takes these measures, then we all can continue to make the university work, and everybody will be okay, and we don't have to cut